never know how much I love you. Never know how much I care. But when you put your arms around me, I get a fever that's so hard to bear. You give me fever when you touch me, fever when you hold me tight, fever in the morning, fever all through the night.
Oi family, and welcome to another episode of Let's Catch Up with Sherani. I'm here today again with my girl Hathor Hendrix. Hathor, say hi to our family. Oi family, Hathor, you're becoming too Caribbean, you know. You're becoming very Lucian.
I couldn't help myself. It's a great song.
It is a good song. Okay, so everyone, let me officially and formally introduce Miss Hendrix. Hathor is a singer. And you correct me if I go wrong. She's a singer. Hathor is a musician. You play the bass guitar. And you play another instrument. What's that?
I play percussion, some percussion.
Right. Hathor also teaches yoga. She is a belly dancer and teaches belly dancing. She also teaches West African dance. And I know I forgot something else. What did I forget?
Did you say yoga?
I said yoga, you do West African dance, you do that belly dancing that we love. You're a musician. I know you play the bass. You know,
And I do personal training. That's it.
Oh, and she's a personal trainer. Yes, she is in shape. All right, so Hathor, welcome back to Let's Catch Up with Sherani. We're so happy to have you.
I'm happy to be had.
So today, this show is a bit of a different. So Hathor came here to really promote her talent and just see what she can bring to you to enrich your life, make your life better. I remember when we did the other show a few weeks ago, we were talking about stress management and some of the things that you do can actually help to relieve stress. I took your belly dancing class and it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. It's not just dancing, you get a full body workout and we had a blast. So Hathor, recently you sang for, was it St. Lucia Jazz or what did we have? You sang at a very important event. You performed.
There was a jazz matinee with Harvey Miller and some of the other well-known jazz musicians here, like Ricky Francois and Emerson Nurse. So it was an honor to play with such seasoned musicians.
You were amazing. You were absolutely amazing. I really enjoyed it.
My baby don't care for shows. My baby don't care for clothes. My baby just cares for me.
So Hathor, what is your plans? What are your plans? What can you bring to us here in St. Lucia? What can we do to enrich our life, learn something else? What are you here to impact?
What I'm here really to do is to connect and collaborate. Art is culture, and so for me, it is to be an inspiration and to also be inspired. That's really why I'm here, to share my gifts with others and to also have others share their gifts with me.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Hathor, you and I also do soca fitness together. And I noticed from your dance move that you have such a variety. Tell us a little bit about the West African dance and how you started doing this. I love the African dance.
I'm just a person who loves to immerse myself in things. So I started off as a praise dancer in church, which would be considered like a lyrical dance or a modern dance. I was in drill team, so of course we did, classic. I was a classically trained dancer. But as I grew up, I felt like I needed more sustenance in the dance. In classical dancer, I was telling you, you don't look the part, point your toes, stand up straight. There are so many rules that you can't necessarily get lost in the dance because you're so hung up on how you look.
Yes.
For me, West African dance is a liberating dance.
It was the freedom in the dance. Yes.
It's the freedom, but it's also like a spiritual practice. As a Christian, you know, like David, dance. There's a song, "Dance Like David Dance." So dancing in and of itself is a vehicle of praise.
Yes.
A vehicle of celebration. So I had some African friends. I told myself, man, I want to just try African dance. I seen it once and I was like, oh my goodness. So I tried it and I just couldn't look back between the dance movements, because in African dance, way before there was language, there was dance. Before there was language, there was drum. So what I love about African dance is it's a conversation between the drummers and the dancers.
Right.
So we really feed off of each other. And because of that, it makes it very spiritual. So it's like
Yes.
the drums.
I love the drums.
It's just liberating. There is technique to it, but these dance moves are things that you would see every day. Whether it's if you're working in a garden, they have dances where
Yes, if you're putting
like,
things in the
yeah,
basket.
if you're putting things in the
basket.
basket.
Yeah, there's a dance for
There's
life.
dance for birds.
Yes.
You know, for celebration. Men are able to dance and express themselves. So it's just liberating, and it's a dance that's larger than life. And that's what I really, truly love about it.
Wonderful. And well, of course, as I mentioned earlier, I've had the experience with the belly dance with you. So tell us about your history with the belly dance. How did you start doing this?
Belly dance is just sexy. I have to say, if I like something, all I have to do is be inspired and I'll dig deeper myself. And so I look back on some of my earliest memories of seeing someone belly dance, or even just something kind of in the family, was like a Josephine Baker.
Oh, I
or
love
an Eartha
Josephine
Kitt.
Baker. Yes.
And then even more new school, Aaliyah. Aaliyah did a lot of belly dancing. She was very fluid in her movement. So you're like, man, what's that? What are those moves? And as you dig deeper, you realize, oh, this is belly dance. So it's like, what's that all about? And what I love about belly dance is kind of opposite, but what I love about West African dance, but also similar. They're both cultural ethnic dances. Now, the belly dance that we know today is more of a cabaret style, because it was usually actually performed in temples. They didn't like perform it for crowds like it is now. It was more of like a temple dance.
Okay.
But it's so intricate. So where African dance is so big and powerful.
And almost wild.
Yes.
Yeah.
Belly dance.
It's more finesse.
It's intricate and controlled.
Yes.
But belly dance, I feel, really gets me into my body, because it's really the subtleties. It's the sexiness is in the subtleties of being able to bring your hand down.
I love
And the
that.
subtleties of moving your eyes from left to right. And the subtleties of just rolling your shoulders. Or belly dance, I feel you have to have complete command over your body.
Absolutely. Because you saw us make the fool of ourselves the first few classes, and you also saw us not dancing and just videoing you dance, because we were so impressed and just so enchanted with the movement. It was just so amazing. I really loved and enjoyed that. The singing, where did that start? Where did that come from?
I've been singing since I was a little girl. I grew up in the church. My grandmother was a tenor. She sang like Mahalia Jackson. Like, my grandmother's voice could fill a room. You know, she had one of those voices. She played piano, she played organ. And so growing up, music's just always been a part of my life. My dad is a drummer, so it's like...
That's wonderful. We didn't have the music. We didn't have people playing the instruments in my family, but almost all of the women and men in my family sang, and sang amazingly.
Right.
Yeah. I'm the only one without the talent. I can hold a note. But
Yeah, I bet you can hold a note, Sherani,
Yes.
for sure. You have singer's face. There's a such thing.
Yeah. So you were singing from young, you sang in church, and then the bass guitar. Tell us about the bass.
Well, leading into the bass, I have always been musical. The first instrument I ever learned to play was the cello, which is pretty much a bass. You just sit down and play it between your legs. So I kind of went through a journey of music. So I was in orchestra first, I was in band, I played the clarinet and the saxophone. And then I found my way back to music because I actually had terrible stage fright. So although I could sing,
no.
yes. And still today, although I can sing, I was always so scared of sharing my skill, my gift. It was so bad that when I sang in front of people, they would either have to turn their backs to me or be in a different room for me to sing in front of them. So one day I'm in college, I'm like, you know what? I don't know if this corporate life is for me. I'm like, what's the one thing that I can do for the rest of my life? Love, have pride, have dignity, purpose, be able to look myself in the mirror and do. And I had epiphany that it was sing, which was crazy because that was the thing I was the most afraid of.
So you were in school, you studied and ascertained your business management degree, but you were thinking, how could I find something else that I can do with my life?
Or make this really work for who I am. You know, I truly believe, and I may be digressing here a little bit, but I truly believe, I'm not sure how it is in the Caribbean, that we should have magnet schools. And a magnet school is where, you know, hey, you're into engineering. So instead of dragging you through all this stuff that you have no interest in,
focus on
right.
that. Yeah.
If you're an artist, learn about all the arts, figure out what kind of artist you are and do that. You know, I think that that's really important because children come here knowing what they want to do. And it's us that put those responsibilities. Oh, stop dreaming. Oh, that's never going to work out. When really, if we just gave each other the tools, who knows?
You know, that's a perfect example I can give for my own son. His entire life, he always said, Mommy, I want to be a zoologist. I want to work with animals. From little, he was never interested in trucks and this and that. He always wanted animals to dissect. If I went into his room, he was looking at, you know, documentaries with all sorts of wildlife and this and that. And then because he liked science, I started saying, oh, well, maybe you should be a doctor, maybe you should be a scientist. And he kept saying, no, Mommy, I want to work with the animals. I don't want to wear a suit. I don't want to wear a tie. Even when we would go to church, he would say, I don't want to wear a tie, Mommy. I want to work outside. I want to be with the animals. And even when it was time for him to go to Sir Arthur, I had already filled out the forms and ready to go and pay. And he's to the college, the local college. And he said, Mommy, I do not want to go there. The next step of my life, I really want to go and work with the animals. Right? And we're talking about that liberation and, you know, having your voice and so forth. And that's exactly his next step, getting into school where he can study and work with the animals. You know, so you're absolutely right. We need to focus people where they are. And so in school, even though you were doing a corporate degree, you knew you wanted to do the arts.
I knew I was an artist.
You knew that you were an artist at that time. So what's next? So you have all this skill. You're now here in St. Lucia with us. I know you've been singing. I know you've been doing some gigs here and there. I know you've been teaching yoga. I know you've been teaching belly dance. How can our family find you to do yoga, personal training? How can they find you to perform and so forth?
Well, I'm definitely on social media. I actually do little programs and challenges on my YouTube channel. So if you are catching up with Sherani, you can watch this episode and then go over to the Hathor Experience. I didn't get creative. So it's just T-H-E, Hathor, my name, but just H-A-T-H-O-R, and the experience. Because I believe that I'm something to experience. And I'm sharing my experiences with everyone else. Everything that I teach, everything that I am is something that I've experienced.
Right.
And I think that that's really important because that's really what life is.
All of us,
a collection of experiences.
It is.
Right.
Every moment. So remember to like and subscribe. And as she said, when you leave Let's Catch Up with Sherani, you go over to the Hathor Experience. I've subscribed. And also there's a lot of other individual videos on YouTube with you singing. Amazing. You want to see this lady, you got to check her out. The Hathor Experience. Thank you again for joining us on another episode of Let's Catch Up with Sherani. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Sun lights up the daytime, moon lights up the night. I light up when you call my name, and you know I'm gonna treat bedside. Fever in the morning, fever all through the night. Shepherd